the message I got from my guides was discomfort is diamonds. And I thought, what does this mean, right? And so the way this played out was in my meditation, you see things as symbols and you see things as very visual in symbolic manner. And there was a mountain, okay? And I don't know if it was just because I was doing a lot of mountain energy in the last week, but there was this mountain, and instead of a snow top on the top of the mountain, it was diamonds. And so to get to the glitter, I had to climb that mountain, and it looked daunting. It looked difficult. It looked like a lot of work. But then I could see, as I looked at the mountain, I couldn't think about, like, in that moment of what it was going to take, right? And I could see that it didn't require me to hurry. I wasn't in a speed, trial or anything that was going to be difficult, other than it might be a little uncomfortable to climb, but not impossible. That's kind of the visual I was getting. Like, it's not like you can't get there to the diamonds. It was just looked uncomfortable because it was very kind of a grand mountain. Yet most of us see difficulty and we predict the pain associated with it as suffering instead of small doses of discomfort, which typically is what life is, right? And so, as you all know, I was on vacation this week, and it kind of was symbolic with what I was experiencing personally. And many of you may have been this week as well, throughout the weekend, and things that you were visually seeing. But Tony and I went mountain biking in Victor, Idaho. I don't know if anyone's been there, but I loved it. I actually fell in love with Idaho. I went whitewater rafting, and then we went back on our bikes. And so I'm not going to lie, this was my first technical, tough trail that I had been on in years. And why in years? Just because I had fallen and messed up my hip many years ago, and kind of created this whole fear of, like, climbing mountains again due to the rocks in the way, which is what I fell on. I fell on my hip on the rock, and it was not pretty. So this trail was so beautiful. We worked our way up there. We took our bikes. We had a couple of trail rides that were easy, but I knew I kind of just needed to get through this, like, whole self-discipline, like self-talk, right? And for the beginning part of this ride up the mountain, and I'm going to tell you, it took me about 30 minutes, right, for me to get my sea legs back and then remind myself that the discomfort was only temporary. And once I removed the mental boulders, let's be very clear here, this was a mental thing. I was literally at the top of the most gorgeous mountain, having the blast, amazing time. And the diamonds were definitely awaiting me. Why? Because the best part was at the top. And the best part was me trying to get through the mindset, as opposed to what the technicality was. It wasn't a tough trail, right? And so what I'm trying to get you guys to open your mind is discomfort is desirable compared to the alternative, right? And so what is the alternative? Discomfort is pressure that results in diamonds, right? And so suffering is repeating pain that you dislike with no desired outcome. I knew what the outcome would be. I just had to get through these momentary lapses of discomfort. And not being aware when you're choosing suffering, and we don't consciously know we're choosing suffering. We don't consciously know it's something we choose, but we choose it and we repeat it. And we avoid making a different choice. And we go, I don't know why I'm here again, because we didn't make a different choice, right? So I want you to listen to how often you guys say can't. Really think about that. How often do you say, I can't do that? You can't do that. Says who? I brought this up to you guys a lot, right? Says who? Why do we have to look at boulders in the world, in life, right? Why do we have to look at boulders or internal darkness? People keep asking, why do we have to do that if we're trying to get to a better place? It's a good question, right? I agree, because this whole artsy fartsy happy, let's just be positive and do motivation. Oh, isn't it going to feel good? And you guys are realizing it doesn't work all the time. Why? Because you can't have one without the other. So if you want diamonds, you must see the boulders in your path that are blocking you, period.